Former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows might be in even more trouble than we had previously realized. CNN has obtained copies of text messages sent back and forth between Mark Meadows and a man named Phil Waldron in December of 2020. So what was happening and what was revealed in these text messages is that Mr. Waldron was filing lawsuits in the state of Arizona trying to get the court to let him seize the voting machines in the state. So Waldron's entire plan was to seize the voting machines. And as he's doing these things, as he's coming up with the plan, as he's filing the lawsuits, he is directly texting Mark Meadows to let him know what's happening. Meadows is responding, so Meadows was aware. He can't say that, oh, I didn't even read those. You responded and you were supportive of Phil Waldron's plan. And Waldron at one point said, Arizona's our lead domino to start the cascade of other states, of course, handing over their voting machines. But unfortunately for Mr. Waldron and Mr. Meadows, none of that ever came to fruition because Mr. Waldron's lawsuit was effectively laughed out of court and dismissed. And when Mark Meadows learned of this lawsuit being dismissed, he, in a text message to Phil Waldron, said that this ruling was pathetic. So Mark Meadows was mad that they didn't get their hands on those voting machines. So here's the fun part, right? Mark Meadows cannot deny any of this. Now, in the past, he has, of course, tried to distance himself from some of these wacky plans that, oh, these Republicans all over the country are doing weird things. I'm not a part of it. You know, if they are successful, then that's cool, but I'm not, involved in that. Now we know you are. So we know you weren't being forthright with us from the beginning. But I don't care about Meadows. Meadows is a small fish in a big pond. What we need are the communications between Meadows and Donald Trump. Because again, Meadows was the chief of staff to Donald Trump at that time, one of many that Donald Trump had through his administration. So you can't tell me that at some point Mark Meadows didn't go marching into the Oval Office and say, hey, Prez, I got an update for you on these Arizona cases, right? Here's what we're trying to do. We got Phil Waldron on the ground. He's trying to get these voting machines. And then once we get the voting machines, X, Y, and Z will happen. You cannot convince me that that didn't happen. Maybe not exactly the way I just described it, but I'm willing to bet that it did. And that is the piece of the puzzle that still needs to be put together. But unfortunately, it's probably a piece of the puzzle that can only come from Mark Meadows himself. I doubt that Meadows was texting these things to Donald Trump, so there's probably no paper trail with it. He probably wasn't writing it down and sending it in. Wasn't typing it up in email. These were probably things that were discussed verbally so as to avoid any paper trail, right? So it may have to come from Mark Meadows' mouth himself, either in a court case, possibly through cooperation with the DOJ, or maybe he just wants it all to go away. Who knows what's going to happen, but I do think Mark Meadows as one person needs to start playing let's make a deal, because things are starting to look really bad for him, and the only way he'll probably get out of it is to give up every piece of information that he has, as long as it's related to criminal activity by other people. If he doesn't have anything like that, you're probably going to be fitted for an orange jumpsuit sometime within the next year or two.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.